Go.
What up? What is happening? This is Ryan Hoppy from the Hoppy and Super Rich Show on WNUR 89.3 FM. And you are listening to the Mike and Will Show.
What is up? This is the Michael Will Show, and I'm your co-host, Will Brooks. I got my other co-host with me, Mike Albrecht. And go ahead and introduce yourself, Mike.
Hey, it's Mike Albrecht. Obviously, you guys know me on Twitter. I cover Chicago sports. My username is at Shy Sports Mike. I'm a current college student. Like I said, I cover the Bulls in my blog called Windy City Sports, and I also work for the Register Star. I'm just glad to be here, and thanks for the support, and thanks for having me on here.
So I decided to do a podcast like earlier this year, and I never could get it going. I never even recorded an episode because I figured it'd be easier to have somebody with you doing the show. So I hit up Mike, and we decided to make this podcast together, and here we are doing the show. And for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Will Brooks, and I cover Chicago sports at ChiCitySports.com, and I'm striving to become a sports journalist in the field and everything and stuff like that. And I really cover Northwestern University athletic stuff on my daily blog called BigCatsDaily.sportsblog.com, and you can find me on Twitter at RealWillBrooks. And so, what's new, Mike? What's new?
Not much. Obviously, big news on SportsCenter today is that Joe Cowley and the Bulls owner, the little rift between Derrick Rose and the team organization. He released a press statement, and I think you have it with you.
Yeah, I actually do. Reinsdorf and Cowley. I guess Cowley has stated that he wrote an article yesterday about the Bulls, stuff like that. You just explained, and hold on, let me pull this up. Reinsdorf responded to that. Reinsdorf responded to the article that Cowley has said with the rift between DRose and the front office is by stating, "I am confounded by the irresponsible report in Chicago Suntimes suggesting there is anything approaching discord or the confusion between the Bulls executive office, coaching staff, and Derrick Rose or any other Bulls player. To the contrary, I can remember no time when the organization has been any more focused, optimistic, and cohesive. I've got to assume suggestions otherwise are intended to undermine the goals of an objective spirit and reputation of the Chicago Bulls. I am deeply disappointed that unnamed sources and totally inaccurate statements and assumptions can be used to foment non-existent friction. The report is totally without basis or fact. It is pure malicious fiction." Wow.
Yeah, that's shocking. And plus, I don't know if there really is a rift, but at the same time, you can think of 2 or 3 years ago when Rose didn't come back to play in the playoffs because he wasn't mentally ready. And you also got to think Omar Sheik's gone and Dang is gone, so it's a brand new team for Rose, and he's just coming back. I'm not really sure if he knows what to expect. And but yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see Rose. I know the 6-second vines aren't really doing justice, but yeah. And and then the scrimmage. There's a scrimmage tonight, 9 Eastern on ESPN between the two teams, and Derrick Rose is on the blue team and Tom Thibodeau's on the white team, so that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
And then Bullzone. Supposedly Derrick Rose weighed 190 last season. Bullzone had a report out that he weighed 209 at Team USA camp, so that's really good. I saw a picture, and yeah, he definitely looks a lot bigger.
Wow, that's good. That's a good thing, actually. I mean, the season that Rose went down with his injury, he looked. I don't know. He looked in shape, but he didn't look like up to the caliber that we used to seeing Derrick Rose in, like when he first came in. But that season, after he won the MVP, Rose, like, I don't know, he just probably didn't have his body together. That's probably why he got injured and he went down.
Yep, and then he also said a couple days ago that he was going to stay away from hard contact in the paint, which is going to be difficult. So I'm assuming players are going to be like aiming for him. And also, Coach K, he said, quote unquote, Derrick Rose looks better than he did 4 years ago. And he also said Derrick's been playing great and not good and hasn't held anything back. which is I'm pretty surprising because at first I didn't even know if I wanted Derrick Rose on the team, just
Anymore?
because
Really?
yeah, I wasn't sure just because I didn't know if he was going to get hurt again. I didn't know if it was going to mess up his rhythm or his pre-workout. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. But now that I see him like doing really good, I'm thinking he needs all the experience he can get.
Hey, they're 6 second vines, man. Y'all don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And then, also that report that Mason Plumlee will get a spot over DeMarcus Cousins. I turned my Twitter off as soon as I read that. That is just ridiculous.
Wow.
I'm not even sure where to start with that. I'm just thinking, okay, Cousins has averaged 23 and 12, and there's a stat last night for a player to average 17 points and 10 rebounds over their first 4 seasons. He was in that list with Charles Barkley, Olajuwon, other players like of that caliber. So I'm not sure why Mason Plumlee would get a spot over him. The only reason I can think is Coach K is being a little biased because he's a former the former player for him at Duke. I don't understand it at all.
Yeah, and Cousins, I mean, only thing Cousins is known around the league for his attitude and stuff like that. Like another guy that you know that you really want to come to the Bulls, Lance Stevenson. I mean, you compare. Yeah,
Yeah.
I set you up for it. Go ahead. You can compare
I,
Cousins and his attitude, I guess. And Cousins has a pretty much bad attitude. I don't know if it improved over the years or not, but he pretty much do.
yeah, and then another thing is, I don't know. I don't know why Cousins isn't in there. He just needs to be in there, especially with only, you got to think who else is on that roster. It's only like Powell Millsap and Anthony Davis. And I know there's one more. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. But, I mean, if they're really trying to go for gold, I think they really need to have Cousins on that team.
Yeah, and this team is really young. Like, this team full of next generation stars. You don't see only stars really like superstars. Who you consider? Kevin Durant, Derrick Rose. I don't know if you would throw Paul George in there. I don't think. Would you?
No, not yet.
Not
I
yet.
want to see what Paul George does this year without Lance. And he said yesterday that as soon as LeBron went to the Cavs, that the Pacers weren't the favorites anymore, which I think is it's kind of weird for him to say that. But at the same time, it seemed like the Pacers did better when they were like the hunters and not the ones being hunted. If you get my drift.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And they got to do something about Roy Hibbert.
Yeah, and I saw that he was working out with Olajuwon like Dwight Howard did, so we'll see how that works out. But back to the Bulls, I'm really thinking right now it's championship or bust. What do you think?
I think. I mean, I can see championship within the next 1 or 3 years, like this year or within the next 2 to 3 years. But like, I don't know. This team depends on the team. Got to battle injuries. Please be no injuries this season. Like no major injuries. I mean, and Noah coming off a knee injury. Rose coming off an injury. New faces. A good rotation because Tibbs has a rotation work with this time. What they got an 11-man rotation now.
Yeah, we'll see though. I think the X factor is Tony Snell. I just don't know if Tibbs is going to give him legit minutes. And plus, like you said, with the durability issues, Pau Gasol hasn't been really durable these past few years either. So I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that.
I mean, Paul Gasol wasn't expected to win the last 2 years, so you can look at that. Because the Lakers, I mean, I don't know, but knowing Tibbs and the Bulls, they have Paul in tip-top shape probably. And I don't know, I guess he can perform like Paul of old. I don't see him as Memphis Grizzly Paul Gasol, but early Lakers Paul Gasol, possibly, yeah.
Yeah, especially with Noah on the floor with him. And then also earlier, Joe Cowley said that he's reported that Pau Gasol wasn't guaranteed a starting spot, which is kind of weird to me because I figured that Pau would get the starting spot and Taj would come off the bench and give us that same spark, but at the same time give him starting minutes. I'm not exactly sure.
I mean, at the end of the season, we all was expecting Taj to start because Booz is going to be gone, and then they added Powell. And that's right. I don't know between there, but remember what Taj went on and said that nobody ever guaranteed him a starting spot. So I don't think it really matters to Taj Gibson. I mean, he's 6 man. He can win 6 man in a year, any year to me. And well, I don't know Jamal Crawford, yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, like he finished second last year and 6 man of the year. And I don't think it's a problem for Taj coming off the bench. I think it's a bigger problem for Pau just because he came here to win and not sit on the bench like to start off, which
yeah,
I mean
true.
really isn't a big deal, but it might be a big deal to him.
Yeah, that's very
But
true.
yeah, and plus I'm not even to go on with that with Joakim Noah. I don't think that we'll ever get another year like that from Joakim Noah. I think just because with the lack of weapons around him, he had to do something, and of course he succeeded and got Defensive Player of the Year. I think I don't remember third or fourth in MVP voting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
third.
I just don't think we're gonna get another year from Noah. I don't remember his age, but I know he's getting up there.
And then a knee
Veteran.
surgery he just had this offseason. I don't know about Noah either.
Yeah, and he hasn't been exactly durable either. He's missing time. And then also other news, Kevin Love said he won't sign an extension with any team. So if you're the Cavs, you're pretty worried about that. What do you think?
I say yeah because you trade for Kevin Love and he won't sign an extension, so he'll just be a free agent the next year. And if you think about it, like you lost Wiggins for what?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. And plus, you don't know what LeBron and Wiggins could do together. That could be like the next best thing. Plus, with Kyrie Irving
Oh
and
man,
they got a
Dion
few other.
Waiters.
Varejão's not too bad either.
Yeah, I like
Um,
Brad. I like Brad, and you know he just got to get Boyd getting dunked on by Dwayne Wade again. That's all. Man, that was
yeah.
nasty.
Uh, But yeah, I think they'd be stupid to trade for Love now. I think they'll still do it, but honestly, I think K Love's just thinking about Los Angeles right now. He grew up in LA. He went to UCLA. A couple weeks ago, he was in LA shooting with Kobe Bryant and Carmelo when Carmelo was getting recruited by the Lakers. I think everything's set up for him to come to LA.
Yeah,
We'll see about that
that's
next
interesting
year.
to see how that plays out. I mean, Kevin Love's story been going on for a while, longer than Melo's story was going on. So it'll be interesting to see how everything just falls into place.
Yeah, and then plus with LeBron going to the Cavs, I think the East is a little more wide open, and that's obviously good for the Bulls because the Bulls upgraded. I think.
Oh yeah,
So we'll see. I'm
um,
expecting at least 60 wins. I think if you get below 60 wins, I think that's already a failure. I think this team needs to win now, and I think it needs to be this year.
that's true. Hopefully higher than the 62 win season. And back to what you were saying, about the like, I think early. Okay, it was early this morning on the Captain Hall show. They had Paxton on, and Paxton was talking about like the Bulls and stuff like that about the season. Like you talk about the East is open, and they asked Paxton like, "Is the East up for grabs?" And he said, "Yeah, like you only can focus on your team and stuff like that." Which means the Bulls, and basically he was stating that in the East you had the Bulls, the Pacers, the Cavaliers, and I'm not gonna lie, you could throw the Wizards up there as well because they can compete, and those 4 teams I see competing for a spot up there in the East. But the Wizards, I don't see the Wizards competing for number one, but they compete for number 2 or 3 with the Cavs and Pacers. Well, I ain't gonna say that. I don't know. Just the East is up for grabs, like you said.
Yeah, definitely between those four teams, I think the top four will be that team. Those teams, I don't know what order, but it's those four, and then there's the rest of the East, which I mean,
No
let's be
names.
honest. Yeah, but I will be excited if the Heat and Cavs have a playoff series. That would be awesome.
Wow. Yeah. Oh yeah. You could include the Heat probably around number 5. I mean, I know the Heat will make it a playoff. He's going to make the playoff. That's what I know that for a
Yeah,
fact.
and plus I think that Baj definitely didn't deserve the
That
most money. He's
contract.
going to be
Wow.
the most paid player in the NBA this coming season. I don't think he deserved that, but I do think he deserved to get paid. And also, I think he will. He'll be definitely better with LeBron gone. just because they'll rely more on him. And plus, they got some more role players down there. They got Dang, and they